Hello everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today. It's been a while since I made a video, and probably the only reason that I'm making it now is because it's storming. We haven't had any rain here in quite some time, and it's been like in the 90s, and the air quality is so bad. It's in it was a code orange yesterday, and they said it was going to be worse today. And with my health, I'm not supposed to be in temperatures above so-and-so, so thank God I have AC here in the house, and just hope the power don't go out. As a matter of fact, I just got in. I went to pick up my check from work, and as soon as I got home, it started to drizzle a little bit, and as soon as I stuck the key in, it came in and shut the door, the thunder set in, and I said, thank you, Jesus, that I made it home, because I'm traumatized in storms. I've always been that way in storms. What do you do in a thunderstorm? I know a lot of people, and we were talking about this the other day, a lot of people will turn everything off and just be quiet. Some people say that when they were young, they weren't allowed to talk during a thunderstorm. And some people just carry on about their business as usual. I know when I was young, God, that rain. When I was young and it would thunderstorm, my mom would turn everything off. She would unplug the TVs and, unplug everything. Even unplug the coffee pot. Mom unplugged everything. And when my kids were young, when we lived in Virginia, I would basically do that too. I would unplug everything, but we would talk and stuff. We'd go into the hallway. I mean, when I was growing up, we could talk too. We just had to have everything unplugged. But I would take my kids into the hallway, and I'd shut off all the doors because there wasn't any windows except at the end of the hall. And we would sit out there, and I would read fairy tales, or we would just sit and have a conversation when they got a little bit older. Which makes me very surprised that my kids are not traumatized by thunderstorms like me, because they've seen how traumatized and how scared I get during a storm. But I mean, they'll walk right out of them. They're not afraid of them. If they got to go somewhere, they're going to open the door and go right on out in a thunderstorm, hop in the car and go. Me, I'd be lucky to move from this spot right here. And that rain is really coming down now. But I know when I moved here to Greensboro back in '94, it seemed like the storms that we had here at that time now didn't seem as bad as the ones in Virginia. Our thunderstorms never really seemed as bad here as they did in Virginia. It seemed like every time in Virginia, every time it rained, we had a thunderstorm. And out here, thunderstorms, really didn't have a whole lot of thunderstorms. And we still don't have that many of them, not a whole lot of them. But the ones we do have scare me. And when my husband was alive, we carried on about business as usual during a thunderstorm. I mean, we watched TV, I would get online, I'd get on the computer, everything. We did. We had everything on surge bars, and I know that's still, not a guaranteed foolproof way to just, to keep things from being hit, but it helps a little bit, I guess. And I still have everything on surge bars, but being here by myself, I generally turn everything off. I don't go so far as to unplug, but I will turn it off. If it's not storming too bad, I'll have them on. But I'd still probably have my TV on right now if I wasn't doing this video, because it's not got real bad yet. But it's like 95. It's 20 minutes after 2, and it's already 95 outside. And going outside, when I went out to get my check, I mean, it's so hot you can't breathe out there. It's just so hot. And so I rode there with Antoinette. She came by and picked me up so I wouldn't have to ride in my Jeep, because I got issues with my Jeep's air conditioning. And so she came by and picked me up, and we went to get our check together. But the storms, I think, scare me now more than ever, because of all the tornadoes and stuff that are just hitting everywhere. It seems like about every day you hear something on the news about a state being hit and, having devastating effects from tornadoes. And that's scary, because whenever we have storms, we always have a tornado watch that turns into a tornado warning. And I know one time, this was back in 2003, because it was right after my husband died. It was in the spring of 2003 that we had a tornado. We were supposed to have a real bad storm that day. And I came home on my lunch break, and then I went back to work. And it was already getting dark and cloudy, and I had needed something that was in an outdoor shed. And so I said, well, let me run out there and get it before the storm sets in. So I ran out and I got it. And I came out of the shed, and the wind was just blowing real, real, real bad. You could see the trees off in the background, and they were going sideways and stuff. And I said, well, I ran across and went to open the door to go into the building, and the door was locked, and I couldn't get in. And I was banging on the door, but nobody could see me because that's a service entrance. There was nobody there at the time. And I started thinking to myself, well, I didn't know we had train tracks that close to the house. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, we don't. But I was hearing something. I said, oh, dear God, watch that be a tornado. Now, this time it had gotten real dark. And so I ran back into the shed. And I thought to myself, a tornado's going to come through here, and it's going to take this shed off, and I'm going to be gone. You know, because I'm not in that big, sturdy brick building. And I'm going to be killed out here. And I was so scared. And I'd already started my way through the shed, through all the boxes, you know, to try to find a place to sit down. And I heard somebody hollering at me through the wind. And I went and looked, and there was somebody holding the door open. They had been way up the hall, and they had seen me try to get in. And so they came out to get me, and I ran into the building. And as soon as I got to my department, they started ringing the alarm. And the alarm started going off. They called it code black. And so we go out to the dining room and then we got to go up to the nurse's station and stuff, you know, to bring all the residents out to the hallways and secure the residents. And good grief. And you know what? I'm seeing my laundry like air is blowing on it in my laundry room every time the wind blows. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Something is not right about that. It may be coming in from the vent where my dryer's at, because it is really, really, really windy out there. But anyway, getting back to where I was, when they called it code black, I had never seen it rain sideways before. And looking out through their big window in the dining room, the rain was going sideways, not at a slant, but sideways, straight across, and it was real dark, just like it was nighttime out there. And then after, it didn't last long. And then after that, they said that a tornado did hit in Greensboro. And so there was a lot of damage done, but more or less across the interstate. And the interstate does run right in front of the building. But anyway, the way that I'm looking at my laundry room, I've done some laundry, and I've got a gown hanging up in there, and that I just took out of the dryer. And I thought maybe it's, you know, the AC running that was causing it to move a little bit. But we had a big puff of wind, and I saw it really moving, so I'm going to have to go check that out. And till next time, bye-bye.